Hi, so I'm going to go over a back squat and a deadlift technique for you. So we're going to get some little pointers that we're going to be working through and some of the key muscle groups as well that we're going to be doing. So for your back squat, we want to make sure when you're using the bar that you're able to step under it really nicely. That's going to help give you the lift up with it. Also, the positioning of it on the back of your shoulders. So hands, take them slightly wider than your shoulders. Most bars have a little gauge on them as well that you can use. So hands wider. Then you'll step underneath so the bar is resting on the top of your shoulders and not your neck. Then you'll lift up and step back away from the rack. Okay. So your feet are just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And as you lower down, you want to keep your weight going back behind you through your hips and heels. Squeeze your glutes as you come back to the top. Okay, so you're always looking forward. Squeeze and push and drive that weight straight back up. And one key thing to think about when you're doing a back squat, it's like when we're doing any squat really, is that your knees are staying forward. They're not wanting to collapse in at all. Okay, so keeping them tracking forwards as you're moving. Okay, so that's one thing to be looking at. Your next exercise is the deadlift. So whereas your squats is working your quads and your glutes, your deadlift, we're looking much more sort of glute and hamstring based through the movement. And it becomes a hinge effect, so we're pulling back from your hips as you're working. Again, as you step up to the bar, you've got to take your hands so they're just wider than your thighs. As you pick the bar up, squeeze your glutes and standing nice and tall. Step back a little bit so you've got space to move. And your first cue, thinking shoulders pulled back. That's going to help keep your back in a nice straight line. And the version of the deadlift we're going to do, we're going to be keeping our legs fairly straight. So you're going to keep the bar close to your legs as you lower down. Push your hips back behind you. Slight bend into your knee. Bar down to your shins. Squeeze your glutes. Push your hips forward to come back up. So it's that hip movement. And as you lower down, you'll feel it through your hamstrings, the back of your legs. And the key with this one is being able to keep your back nice and straight, and you'll do that by keeping your shoulder blades pulled back during the movement. So there's our key bits there, your top tips for your squat and your top tips for your deadlift.